Oh no, that was me warming up. I mean, in fact, I was going to move these out of the shot.
You're this. You usually just like have them like laying on the table.
Yeah, I put them on the corner.
Right.
But I thought, what if Krisha wanted one?
Right, and neighbor Nancy.
They're literally the same cough drops from all last week. I don't,
Yeah.
keep, and they replenish the supply when they run out.
But neighbor Nancy gave us these cute little dishes to have our individual servings.
So I thought, well, yeah, I'll put my Ludens.
Why not?
This is the actor.
They're the best cough drops.
The cough drop that actors use, right?
Mm-hmm. Ludens. They're the best.
Because they're really candy, basically.
Yeah, but they lubricate.
Well, they have their active ingredient is
Vaseline.
There's no, basically.
Yeah.
I just my head snapped for a second because it's not gelatin, but it's something like that. They're an emulsant, and my ENT told me that I can't have the menthol cough drops that I used to pop those menthol cough drops.
They're not good for you.
Well, they would dry me out, and my voice would get worse and worse. And the same thing with whatever else I was taking, thinking it would help my voice, and it's like, no, you can't have that, you can't have that, you can't have that. So I by elimination, I just looked at the ingredients, and I think it might have been like a Laura Beth Wells or somebody.
She's awesome. Hi, Laura Beth.
Had posted a picture of their backstage, probably would have been when she was in Christmas Carol, probably a year ago or something like that. What would you call it? Your little cute cubby with the mirrors and the bulbs. Okay, and I noticed that I had already figured out the Ludens on my own, so I felt very proud of myself.
That she had them.
That a professional actress. I'm assuming it was Laura Beth because I don't know that many people that I would, But
yeah. Hi, it's KrishaAndFrank show.
Yes, enough of that. 2 minutes of just warm up chat.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
Oh, that's a good one. I like. I slid a sheet. I slid upon a slitted sheet.
Yeah, I can't say that. We'd have to edit it, or we'd have to put an explicit warning.
Oh, there you go. We don't want to do that.
No.
So welcome back to those of you who are watching. Those of you finding us for the first time, thank you for liking and sharing and telling your friends and being told by your friends about the show.
Yes, thanks so much, and welcome to the birds. Good morning.
Yeah.
Hi.
So yesterday I started to tell you about the guy.
The guy.
There's a guy
who
last Monday, I guess, maybe listened or watched the show for the first time.
Not yesterday, but like Monday.
Yeah, a week ago.
Yeah.
So he must have, I'm assuming, watched it because he told me how he thought you were cute, and I did the whole Carol Burnett.
Thanks, guy.
So this guy, turns out, was a longtime radio listener.
Okay.
And he would call anytime he heard me on the radio in like a Weigel's. It's like, hey, I'm at the Weigel's.
You were there often.
Yeah. No. I mean, no. What I mean by that is I was at the station.
Right.
He would just go get a coffee. So he'd go at the one on Chapman Highway, and he'd call up and go, hey, they're playing your station.
Oh, cool.
Or he'd go to the one in Middlebrook Pike, hey, they're playing your station, or Kingston Pike. So, and he's a huge fan of Styx.
Ooh.
So he wants me to play more Styx and all these things.
Dynasty Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would end up having these conversations. Well, he was sad when I was not on the regular old radio anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people were. Still are.
So I sent him a link to the show.
Nice.
Weeks go by, nothing happens. And I guess at some point he decides, roundabout
Check it out.
episode 20, whatever, I could probably even tell you. Yeah,
20-something.
Somewhere around about episode 19, he decides to give it a try.
All right.
And is fascinated because in that particular episode, we were revealing some behind-the-scenes secrets about other radio people.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, we did do that.
And he's like, well, I don't like that particular radio person. I thought, well, don't worry. Stop.
It's not about like or dislike.
Yeah, I like that. I happen to like him personally. The fact that he, reads this material out of the script, that's what he does.
Most of them do.
Yeah. They can't all improvise like Carol Burnett over here.
That's what I got in trouble for the most.
Improvising?
Is going off script and, yeah. Yeah. I got in a lot of trouble.
I told you I'm a reactor, right? You know that I'm a reactor.
My body language changed. I felt it. I felt it happen.
Did I ever tell you the time that I was accused of snooping on the host's material because I told you this, didn't I?
Because you reacted too well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got yelled at. It was like, how did you know what I was going to say? Like, I didn't know what you were going to say. I mean, other than that,
I was listening.
You know, you're fairly obvious.
Oh, God. You're getting so much trouble.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
So we're doing the show, and the host has this material planned out, and is spewing it out there, and I'm, you know, just
reacting.
I got the headphones on. I'm casually listening, waiting for any opportunity. Listening, not waiting to talk.
Listening.
But just actively listening. He says something that is just this big, fat, juicy softball, and I swing and I connect, and I get this glare.
Because you stole the punchline.
Like, how did you even know? How did you know? Did you read my material over my shoulder?
Oh, man.
How did you know?
I would have just been like, yes, I did. I stole it all.
I'm like, how? That's not how it works. I mean, if we're playing tennis, and I'm just lobbing balls back to you, and finally you get a decent shot that I'm able to really connect with and score a point. That's all it is.
That's what you do.
That's the game, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a server, if everything you do is serve and you don't have a good return, it's inconceivable.
It's hard to figure out how you would have figured that out on your own.
And all I do is return. I'm not I'm better at returns.
Right.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's different energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy
was fascinated with this behind the scenes stuff, and he wanted to know about like syndicated shows that are live from Nashville or live from Charlotte.
There's so many.
Where's it? Another one somewhere in South Carolina. You know, all these different ones. Where are they based? Where are they based? You know, that kind of thing. All the the inside dirt. Well, in the course of the conversation, the fella mentions to me. He starts asking about ads for the show. Like, yeah, I heard that ad for that real estate guy, or I heard that ad for the Audible, which is today's sponsor.
Right.
And he's like, how do you get an ad on your show? I'm like, well, I'll tell you. They sent me money, and we just keep doing the ads till the money runs out.
Yeah. It works like that.
How it's going to go.
It works just like that.
And so he's thinking about it. He said, well, I'm thinking about it because I have this tree service.
Well, if you've watched any other episode, we know the battle that you're in with your tree stuff right now.
But this is before that.
Oh.
Remember? This is last Monday. So I'm...
So he... Whoa.
No idea that about the tree stuff.
Holy moly.
So he just happens to have a tree service, and I'm like, oh. Because here I have a legitimate fan. A legit guy who legitimately likes the show, and he was thinking about advertising his tree service, and I've already called, multiple other tree services for estimates. So I said, look, this is going to sound crazy,
but
do you want to come do an estimate on my tree job? Because the ones that I've contacted can't do it until 12 weeks out or 4 to 6 weeks out,
and you are. Yeah.
And I'm anxious to get it done because I'm under the impression that the next door neighbor, the back neighbors, are going to be putting in a privacy wall to keep me out.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. So he comes to me. So he says, "Well, it just so happens that my dental appointment got canceled because of the COVID.
Oh my God.
Someone at the dentist's office has the COVID, so he had to.
Man.
He's now his whole day is now blown.
Right.
So he and his wife come over. His wife's the business manager. She helps with the estimates. She's running the calculator. She's got the clipboard.
Yeah. I like that. She's like the Jerry the Brave of this guy.
Yeah. And they're looking at the trees, and they're working it, and they're thinking, and they're grinding their gears, and they want to know how much the other estimates are for. I said, look, no, just tell me what yours is. I don't want you to, just try to undercut them just because you want, just give me a fair estimate.
Yeah.
So they work it out, and they say, well, we know that you don't have a real job. So we'll give you a little...
You get the unemployed discount.
I got the unemployment discount.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, it was like 10%.
I wish I could get an unemployed discount on everything.
But...
Yeah.
Now... Take 10% off the price that we're quoted from the other places. All of a sudden, like, you've got the job. Because their estimate came in, in the ballpark, but then with that discount, that's a couple $100.
I mean, there's something to be said for the unemployed discount.
Right, so I got the unemployed discount, so I'm going to have them do the work.
Nice.
And then they're going to move me up in the schedule to get here as soon as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Guy.
So I hope you buy ads.
The guy?
That would have been what your ad sounded like, except they would have said your name.
So So how are things going with the new neighbors? Have they moved in yet?
Well, there's a development.
Oh dear.
As the tree people and I are out there scoping the trees, something suddenly came up.
Oh.
And that's like a tease for a great audiobook, isn't it?
It really is.
Something suddenly came up. Which is exactly what I texted the other tree guy. Hey,
something.
I'm sorry I have to cancel the job
came up.
because I didn't, instead of saying I had a better offer, I said something suddenly
came up.
You know,
so
like on the Brady Bunch.
If you like Audible or audio books or podcasts or there's so...
They now offer live comedy. It's the whole idea of spoken word entertainment. So as you're driving around listening to us, you may also want to hear, I don't know, like Jefferson Bass book. That's what I want to hear.
Oh, man.
Or my wife loved these series of murder mysteries with the lady in San Francisco that I can't quite remember.
Yeah, no, I called
James Patterson.
I love me some James Patterson. I called those books candy.
Yeah.
Because I love to get a good meaty book where but then I'll listen to David Sedaris or I'll listen to a James Patterson, and it's candy. It's candy for my soul because I don't have to think about it. It's just a story. And Audible has thousands of choices. I get overwhelmed sometimes.
Well, they said it's not physically possible to listen to everything.
No.
You have to pick and choose. You have to decide, where you're going to go with it. And that's why recommendations are helpful from, if you've got a few, that's good. Because I get caught up in that anytime I'm looking at the on-demand list of possible things to listen to. I'm like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, and that's one of my authors, my favorite authors. If you're looking for something to make you laugh that's poignant, David Sedaris. He narrates all of his audiobooks, and you can get it at Audible.
And think about him. He's became fame from narrating his own stories. He wrote them for magazines, but then would read them on NPR. This American Life and Morning Edition, to the point where they believed them to be true.
Oh,
They had to go back and put a disclaimer like, no, this is a humorous story based on it's like a comedy monologue.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they thought it was real.
I'm listening to his current book, Calypso, right now. That could be your free title. Because if you go to Audible or audibletrial.com/KrishaAndFrank, you get a free audiobook. And it's right there.
Yeah, to keep no matter what. So you sign up for the 30-day trial of the premium service, which is where you get all the extra goods.
All the stuff.
And of course, it's owned by Amazon, so it works perfectly with your Amazon Echoes.
And there's whatever phone you have, Android, iPhone,
download
you
it.
have.
You can download the book, so you have it like on a plane. If you're in airplane mode, you can still listen. You don't need to have cell service because they let you download. That's a nice thing at audibletrial.com/KrishaAndFrank. What was that?
I don't know.
It's nice.
Yeah, thank you.
It reminds me of the time I had my wife sing in the chorus of the Wizard of Oz live radio play.
Yeah?
And she was singing Optimistic Voices.
Oh.
And they a lot of that vocalization and you're out of the woods, you're out of the whatever, however it goes. So I'll have to let you hear that sometime. That's talking about audio entertainment.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff.
So suddenly something came up.
So we're back. So Tree Guy and his wife and I are looking at the pine trees, and they're working the calendar to see when the next opening is, so they don't have to screw anybody over. They can get me in the schedule.
I don't want to screw anybody over.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So all this is happening, and I see activity at the house behind us, but it is not the 30-something Californians.
Oh.
It's not the Californians.
It's not the Californians.
The Californians.
They're not those Californians.
No,
they're the good kind.
So it's not them. It's the elderly guy who it's weird that I've never really talked to him. He's lived there, since, before I moved here. I've lived here in this house 18 years, and I've only barely communicated with this other couple.
Okay.
To the point.
Him.
Oh, I know it's the guy because I figured it out. I talked to his wife once over the fence because something had happened, and she had left her chainsaw or something, and forgot about it. So I'm hollering, "Hey, you forgot your thing."
You forgot your chainsaw, because you forget those all the time.
Or whatever, some other gardening tool.
Can't tell you how many times I've forgotten my chainsaw.
And I see the guy, and he's an older retired guy. I said, "Hey, are y'all moving out?" And he says, "Trying to."
Okay.
And I had suspicions because I was debating whether to contact the Californians and ask them about their ask them about their fence. Because
Right.
one of the multiple tree guys who had come for an estimate said, you should contact the new people and tie in to their fence. You could take down your fence and just use the back of theirs.
And tie it, yeah, right.
And that way you'd get this extra,
You'd have that space.
I get that 10 feet of property back, which is blocked from me by my own fence. And all these other things. So I'm like, well, so I start writing an email or a text, and I looked up, because the woman has a website. She's got her phone number on there. She's in business.
Look, if Frank wants to contact you, he will find a way.
Well, that used to be my actual job.
I know.
I used to have to track people down.
You're good at it, and it's kind of scary. I'm just saying. You're like, and I found so-and-so's phone number. I'm like...
Well, anyway, so I was about to text her. Hi, I'm the guy you met over the back fence. And I was wanted to know about the fence so I could tie in. It's all written up. But I don't hit send.
Okay.
I'm like, let me check something.
Let's cool it.
Because I want to go to the real estate listing for the house.
It's no longer in escrow?
It's available.
Oh.
So then I call the realtor. I'm like, hey, but it's Sunday, so he's got it. It goes right to. It wasn't a realtor like Hutch and Howard.
You called a realtor.
I called some other guy. Good catch.
You would have been editing and been like, oh. You would have edited it out, and now you can't.
You are correct.
You're like, I said it wrong.
Yeah, if I say
Just
it,
snip that there.
yeah.
Suddenly it just goes. So I called the.
No, you have to go back and make a clean cut.
Yeah.
You have to work around it.
So you called the realtor.
I called the realtor and no answer, and I thought I chickened out. I'll leave it a message, and so I had this in my head from Sunday, and now it's Monday, and I hollered at the guy. And he says, "Are you all moving out?" Trying to. I said, "Oh, really? I thought I met the Californians." He's like, yeah, no, they canceled. They pulled out of the deal.
Was it because they met you?
Naturally, this is what I think.
Naturally.
I think, what have I done to scotch this deal? I mean, the house back there is almost twice as expensive as this one.
I love that it's all about you, though. You're like, what did I do?
What have I done?
I knew that would be your first thought, because you're like, oh, they met me and they quit.
They don't want to live here anymore, clearly.
If they'd have met Jerry, they'd have bought that day.
It's got nothing to do with that fact that house is at almost twice as expensive as this one, but maybe more like 100,000 more.
Right.
It's significantly more expensive than my house.
Yeah.
So maybe that is a factor, but they were from California.
I'm sure it was a factor.
Well, the guy says to me, so I said, I hope I didn't scare him away. I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, no, that guy was a contractor. I'm like, and? Yeah, and he gets in here with the home inspector and that combination.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently whatever it is, they started probably asking for demands. Because I had noticed in the time since I met the Californians that there was all these, workmen, like heating and air trucks. And
they were checking it out. And they
cleaning
were
crews.
Right. Because they wanted to make sure that it was worth of what they were wanting to ask, and they probably were like, "I don't like the hitting an air here."
If they're going to drive all the way across the Florida,
right? And that's a lot. That's a lot to do. If you're just gonna move, you can't just like willy nilly get a house. You have to go in there and make sure that the doors work. This one's good.
And it's not haunted.
I would say haunted over a door not working.
That's good.
Thank you.
So anyhow, they're not moving in. The Californians are not moving in. The house is back on the market.
I was looking forward to having brunch with them, get some mimosies.
So in my fantasy world, my daughter and son-in-law and the boys and little Lucy will all move in.
Right. Well, now that we know that the doors work, they're fine.
So I was telling Jerry, I said, it would be great. We could build like a pathway.
Oh my gosh.
Build like a pedestrian bridge. And she's like, she thinks I'm crazy. I am crazy.
That's fine. You can be crazy. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
It would also be terrible for them.
Well,
it would be terrible.
I mean, it would just be a switch because
Would it?
Well, they currently live near.
Uh-huh.
My daughter's in-laws. I mean, they currently,
right.
are
they in the back door?
Well, it's complicated, but they ended up they ended up buying a house from the husband's dad,
right?
Because he was moving.
Uh-huh.
So they kind of like it's kind of was there's a lot of family business.
Switcheroo-y. Right.
Yeah, so my daughter's father-in-law often comes by to get something out of the garage that he left there.
Oh,
you know,
my dad built his house on my granny's property.
Yeah, this is common in Tennessee,
right,
where you have the family enclave.
Yeah. So my granny lived here. My dad's house faced the other direction. Until my granny sold her house, she would often just, I bought a ham, and they'd be in the yard.
This is the granny who loves the honey baked ham.
Yeah, that's my granny. That's Mary
I've
Bohannon.
seen the videos of her eating ham.
She loves ham, man. She loves her honey.
But now she's just on yodels and or ding dongs.
Nope,
or
she likes
Swiss rolls.
nutter butters, like the Nutty Buddies. She likes those and Swiss cake rolls, but she likes all Little Debbie's.
And buttermilk.
Man.
Okay.
Buttermilk. We need to do that one day.
Go get her a ham or get her a buttermilk.
Well, right now we can't visit.
So we're gonna get her we're gonna drink it here.
We should do it here.
All right.
As a cheers to Granny Bohannon.
All right.
Yeah. Drink us some buttermilk. All right.
Well, we've just made cartoon over here, gag. So it's still funny though, isn't it?
Wow.
She's repulsed.
Like, well, it's so thick.
And we're looking like, oh, look at her go.
It's so thick.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was an episode of Batman where he didn't get poisoned because he had thought ahead to drink like 7 glasses of buttermilk.
Oh gosh.
I know.
There's so many things I'd rather eat than that.
Well, that's a comedy show, the old Batman show.
Yeah, I love Batman. All right.
Thanks a lot for watching the Krisha and Frank show. You can send us money to the Buttermilk Fund.
Ooh.
In fact, you can tag it if you would like to earmark whatever. I don't know how much buttermilk costs, but if you want to PayPal us the amount of buttermilk or any other food
or some
product,
Little Debbie's,
we will take your money and we will go to the store and we will buy whatever it is and we'll make Krisha eat it on the show.
Oh, good. That's great. That was my very first day on air and radio.
Really?
I had to eat as many Twinkies as I could in like a minute.
Maybe that's a ripoff because 18 years ago I put as many marshmallow peeps in my mouth in a minute as possible. So they have they ripped. Did I suggest that bit to your boss?
I don't know. Why would you do such a thing?
Oh. He was. There's the link. Okay, because he worked at where I was, and then so he's the link.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here.
Gotta go.
Follow us on all the things, the Twitters, the Instagrams, Krisha and Frank, and thank you for subscribing.
Bye.